Hello and welcome to another Nick Beck's watch reviews. Today, as you can see, I've got a new Lorus watch. Of course, we all know who Lorus's daddy is. It's Seiko. So this is kind of a cheaper version, I think, probably of the new Seiko 5 range. Well, in my opinion, I've actually had quite a few of those and quite a few QC issues. So I actually think this may be a better bet, but that's only my opinion. I shall show you the watch and let you make your own minds up. So before I move on, I'd like a couple of shout outs. First of all, I'd like to say a big thank you to Bricktop and Bombardier, always really supportive to my channel, say some lovely things, always gives me the thumbs up. Check out both of their channels, they've got some great content. And also there's a new shout out today. Recently my brother has decided he kind of semi-retired and decided to go it alone and start his own local handyman outfit. And he seems to be making a real success of it. I mean, that's typical of my brother. He does have the Midas touch. He's doing really well with it. So he's in the Sunningdale, Sunninghill, Berkshire, Ascot kind of area. So if anybody's looking for a handyman, locksmith, he more or less covers the lot. He's very good. And he also restores furniture. I mean, he's many strings to his bow. So I'm going to post up the link to his webpage. Take a look. He, like I say, he's getting some really great feedback at the moment. So thumbs up to him and good luck, brother. So what I'm now going to do, I'm going to stop talking about other people and I'm actually going to talk about this new watch. So as you can see, this is Lorus and the hang tag gives us the number of RL41BX9F. This is the green dial version. They come in blue, black, white, and I think possibly the white's going to be the next one I get because I'm so impressed with this one. I think it may be worth having a look at another one. So yeah, this is the new, like I say, I'm going to say this is the baby alternative to the new Seiko 5. So bringing it right up to the camera, you can see you've got a lovely fence post handset, a little bit of dust there, and filled with lume. They're actually framed in white, and there's quite a lot of white on the dial of this watch, but it kind of gives it that military, almost field watch look. And I'm not going to call it a field watch because it's a 42mm case, and I know that field watches, according to the experts, are all kind of sub 40, 38, even kind of smaller than that. So this is a military style watch, I'm going to call it. As you can see, you've got a matte green dial, you have Arabic numerals, batons for the minute track every hour, and a little triangle at the top above the 12. Now inside the numerals you have your 24 hours and Lorus printed on the dial, and at 6 o'clock there you have automatic 10 bar. 3 o'clock you have your day date function, and that's white with black script, so it's very legible, very easy to read, and you have a white frame. Now the crown on this one is at 3 o'clock, and I think the crown actually really works nicely on this. They seem to have really hit the sweet spot in the size. It's quite easy to kind of get hold of. It's a non-hacking, non-hand winding movement, so the only time you actually need to move the crown is when you're setting the watch with the time and date. And it's one click out for the day and date and 2 clicks out for setting the time. It's a non-hacking, non-hand winding movement in this one. Now this movement is the Y676, which is actually the Seiko 7S26, which was introduced in 1996, and they're still using it in their sort of Lorus watches, so it's obviously a pretty good movement. I've heard lots of good things about the accuracy. Now, according to the manual, we're looking at positive to minus 60 seconds per day, but I've read recently on WatchSeek a chap had one that was running between 3 seconds either way per day. That's pretty impressive, and I'm no expert on movements, but I know that kind of shouts to the big boys a little bit. So moving on, as you can see, you have a non-signed crown on this one. Most of the surfaces on this are brushed. I'll flip around there, and there we go. And it's quite well done, you know, it's quite impressive. As I said before, I'm no expert, but that's not bad, I don't think. You've got inner rings on it that you can see that have a bit of high polishing. And what's the only criticism I've got of this watch, the only criticism, and I'm going to give it a little polish so you can see it, is that little bit in the centre there is polished. And I think that's a real shame. I think they could have kind of put that and given it a brush like the rest of the watch, and that would have really worked. But, you know, little things. It wasn't an expensive watch. I mean, this watch in particular was from Watch Shop. It's £130, and I actually got a discount on it, bringing it down to 97, which for an automatic Seiko made watch, I think is, you know, is pretty impressive. Yeah, it's all stainless steel. You've got 100 meters of water resistance. Mineral glass on this one, no sapphire, but I'm sure, you know, the modders will soon swap that out. You got that lovely green dial, and that, I really like that, and if I'm going on about that, please put it in the comments. You've got a case depth of this one at almost 13, so it's quite a thick watch, but it doesn't wear particularly thick. It's, you know, I suppose 13 nowadays for an automatic is probably not too bad. And you can see the links, the lugs are turned down quite nicely. So the case width on this one is 42, the lug width is 20, and the lug to lug I've measured at 48. Now the nice thing about this, being the lug width of 20, is you can swap it out for lots of different straps. And I think, you know, as they say on the channels, this is a real strap monster. It actually come on a canvas and I suppose leather, had like a leather insert across the holes, two-piece strap, and it was a kind of a little bit of a cross between cardboard and sandpaper, and I don't think it would have ever been supple enough to go on a wrist, no matter how long you had it. Now maybe it would last forever, but it would probably wear through your wrist in a few months. So luckily I had this NATO knocking about upstairs. As you know from my other videos, I love NATO straps, so I just popped this one on. It seems to work a lot better, and it's a lot more comfortable than that awful strap that it come with. But, you know, again, it's probably the only other criticism apart from the polished inserts that would really, really bother me. But it certainly wouldn't put me off buying this watch. This watch is an absolute bargain for, you know, under £100, an automatic, well-made Seiko Lorus branded watch. You know, I really don't think you can go wrong. Now, as you can see, you have a screw down case back on this one and an exhibition case. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, you know, what's the point of an exhibition case back on a movement like that, because it's not terribly fantastic. But if you're new to automatic watches, you'd probably be quite pleased with that. And to be honest, I like it. It gives me something to talk about when somebody mentions it. It is a bit of a conversation opener, and you know, It may not be the prettiest movement in the world, but it's probably one of the best workhorse movements. So, you know, thumbs up. It's, yeah, it's nice to see your little ticking mechanism going on in the back of your watch. So, you know, I've got no issue with that. So let's just pop her back on the strap. So, and there we go, that's on wrist. And what I've done is I'll put up some pictures, if I haven't put them up already, of some outdoor shots of this to try and bring up that colour, because that green is really lovely. Like I say, it's a really old-fashioned military army green, and I think, like, ah, there we go, that kind of helps. That's what I can see, which gives it that kind of vintage aesthetic, if you like. But it's a really nice watch. I'm really impressed with it. It feels quite substantial. It's not too heavy, but it's, you know, if somebody picked it up, they'd say, oh, that's heavy, because it feels like nice quality. The only two drawbacks I would say again are those polished inserts and that damned awful strap that it come on. But, you know, that side, it's not too bad at all. You know, it's I would say I've had worse straps, but I actually don't think I have. But yeah, so that's the new Lorus Automatic. As you can see, you get your Lorus box, you get a little cushion in there, a little outer sleeve that goes over the top with your reference number. You got your instruction manual, and you got your guarantee card. And just a couple of things here. I'm just going to kind of move the camera here. We've got a bit of a shout out to Ferrari at the moment. Ferrari, as you know, I'm a big fan of Ferrari. And they're coming back into Le Mans racing this year. And these are just a few models of their Le Mans cars, their Le Mans winners and whatnot from over the years. And I just kind of thought I'd pop those in there just to kind of continue with my racing car theme. Not very military, I know, considering I'm reviewing a military watch, but that said, I do actually think Le Mans was probably an old military base anyway, so, you know, bit of a, you know, a weak link on that. But anyway, enough of my nonsense and rambling. As I say, that's my new Lorus Automatic watch. I give it 9 out of 10. Couple of tiny criticisms, that polished inside and the strap, but you know, a £10 NATO can soon sort that out for you, and you end up with something that looks, in my opinion, cracking like this. So thank you again for all my existing subscribers, all my new subscribers, everybody that bothers to watch my videos, which I'm always amazed that people, you know, take the time. Thanks everybody. And just one more thing I will say, I've already put up the link. Please have a look at my brother's handyman business. Like I say, locksmith, handyman, restorer. He's good. He is good. So give him a check out. Thanks everybody, and see you next time.